Hey guys, what's going on? Jeff here from Films at Home, and I am back from vacation and ready to show off a bunch of movies that I really should have showed you before I left. Hey guys, so thanks for coming back to the channel. Today's going to be a little bit of a collection and channel update. I realized I had a whole bunch of movies that I hadn't shown you guys, and there's some stuff that came in that I got right before I left for vacation, that I got during my vacation, and I got right when I got back from vacation. So there's some stuff I want to show off, some really cool titles in this bunch. And apologies if I did show them off before. I feel like a couple of these may have popped into another video, but most of this, 99% of this, should be brand new. So we're going to talk about that. Before we get started, I want to say thank you to all the new subscribers. We had over 3,000 subscribers join the channel in July, which was huge. It's our biggest month we've ever had. And I was away for a whole week. And while I was away, I was watching the numbers and they were going crazy. My last video has over 50,000 views. We have a ton of new subscribers. So I want to say thank you to all the new subscribers and a huge shout out to all the previous subscribers and ones who have been here since we had 10, 20, 30, even 100 subscribers way back in the day, 1,000 subscribers that have been here for a couple of years, because your support is what got us here in the first place. So with that being said, I'm going to jump right into this collection update. And the first thing I want to show off, I got this from High Def Ninja. It came in while I was on vacation, and it is a new Best Buy exclusive Steelbook. So you Steelbook fans out there, take note. But this is Casper. This is the 25th anniversary Blu-ray Steelbook. It also features the movies Casper: A Spirited Beginning and Casper's Scare School, as well as 5 original Casper the Friendly Ghost theatrical cartoons. So there's a ton of stuff on here, 3 movies, 5 cartoons, and it's exclusive Best Buy Steelbook packaging, so really cool stuff. High Def Ninja sent this to me. I want to say thank you again to them for supporting the channel. They've been great. But if you guys are interested at all in Casper, really cool, go pick this up at Best Buy. Now the next one in I got from Paramount Pictures and Nickelodeon, and it's actually Are You Afraid of the Dark? This is the new series that just came out. It was like a limited series last year. It has 3 episodes, submitted for approval opening night and destroy all top hats. So it was a 3-part limited edition series. That part, yeah, great. I'm okay with that. It has one of the kids from It. It has a few recognizable people. But what I really wanted this set for was because it includes 3 fan favorite episodes from the classic series that I grew up on. It includes The Tale of Laughing in the Dark, The Tale of the Ghastly Grinner, and The Tale of the Dead Man's Float. So those are super cool. Those are really hard to find, and they're on this DVD. So that's the first time that I think they've ever been on DVD. I can't remember. I looked for this set for a long time. Maybe you guys know better than I do, but I got this for those 3 special edition episodes because that was really cool, super nostalgic. Now the next couple movies are actually ones that I picked up a while back, and I don't think I ever showed them off on the channel, but my wife and I have both been on like a Beatles kick lately. Personally, shout me out in the comments if you think I'm wrong, but I think George Harrison is the best Beatle and the most talented Beatle, especially considering his solo career and everything that came afterward. But we've been on a real Beatles kick, and we watched A Hard Day's Night from the Criterion Collection, and then we wanted to get the follow-up, so I got Help, The Beatles. This is the follow-up to A Hard Day's Night, same director, all the Beatles are in it. Actually a super interesting movie. Like, it's pretty wacky, it's funny, but it also has, I think, better music than even A Hard Day's Night. It has some really classic songs on there. So that was a cool Beatles pickup. And then I also grabbed the Beatles' Yellow Submarine, which I haven't watched yet. This is a cartoon, but it was restored digitally in 4K by hand, frame by frame, through the animation. So crazy restoration. I heard great things. I haven't had a chance to watch it. I watched Help the other night before we left. But I wanted to get both of these because they're actually super expensive. They're still like $20, $25, and I don't know how long they'll be out there. Sometimes the Beatles stuff kind of disappears and they have rights issues and stuff, so I wanted to grab them just in case before they go out of print. And also in that same Amazon purchase, I picked up a 4K disc called D-Day, Normandy 1944. It's got an original score produced by the London Symphony Orchestra, and it's narrated by Tom Brokaw. It is the 75th anniversary of D-Day when this came out back in June of 2019. but it's 4K. It's from Shout Factory. It should be a pretty sweet transfer. It's got HDR, and it was filmed for IMAX, so you may have seen this at like museums or something. It was filmed for large format screens, so I'm really looking forward to checking this out. I mean, it's probably going to be incredible. It's over 2 hours long. I'm really excited about it, and based on everything I know about the IMAX movies that have come to 4K, this should be an incredible watch. So now the next 3 titles I actually grabbed at Dollar Tree the day before I left for vacation. My Dollar Tree actually ended up having a few Blu-rays, and they had some more stuff that I didn't pick up because I already had it, some repeats from last time, but I managed to get 3 cool documentaries. First one is BBC Video's Earth, the Biography. This was on National Geographic Channel. It's a documentary about the Earth and the planet, and it kind of just travels around the Earth and looks at really cool like natural monument features and volcanoes and waterfalls, and it goes through all that stuff. Sort of like Planet Earth, but a little bit, it's got more content in it. It's a little bit different. I shouldn't say it's more content than Planet Earth, but it's different content. And then I grabbed a 3D title. It's Amazing Ocean 3D. I still do have my 3D TV and my player, although I don't really use it, but either way, this is another one that was sort of shot for like IMAX. Like, I think that this was shown at like the aquarium in Boston, maybe. They have an IMAX theater there, or the Museum of Science in Boston. It's one of those things you'd see at a museum. But it was an Eicher and Meyer title, so should have really great visuals, audio, and just getting a 3D movie for $1. If I ever do decide to watch it in 3D, that's kind of cool. And the last one is called In Defense of Food. This is a PBS documentary based on a New York Times bestseller. It's from Michael Pollan. He wrote the Omnivore's Dilemma, and it's basically about like eating food, what you should eat to be healthy, where's your food coming from, things you need to be aware of when you're eating and choosing the food. I personally am cutting out things like red meat and trying to cut back on just the amount of meat I eat in general. My wife's a vegetarian, so I picked this up because we both would have some sort of interest in it, and it looks pretty cool. It's probably something I can learn from it, so that's always a nice thing to pick up in a documentary, and for $1 on Blu-ray, you can't really go wrong. Now the next couple I have from Mill Creek. These came in right before I left. First one is 12 Monkeys, the complete series on Blu-ray. It's a 8-disc set from Mill Creek. Mill Creek continues to do the best job of putting out TV shows on Blu-ray. I don't know anybody that's competing at the same level they are, where they've done Community, they did Eureka recently, 12 Monkeys, The Shield, Rescue Me. They've done so many great TV shows. I'm really hoping they can do The Office or Parks and Rec on Blu-ray sometime soon. But 12 Monkeys, it was shown on Sci-Fi. I think it was on Sci-Fi the whole run. May have gotten picked up by a streaming service, but it's based on the movie 12 Monkeys, and if you haven't seen that, highly recommend the movie. But I do want to dive into this series because I heard some decent things and I like the movie, so it should be interesting. And then the next one from Mill Creek is a DVD set, but it's I love historical documentaries, and so this is a 6 documentary collection on Vietnam called Honor and Remember: Stories of Vietnam. It includes In the Shadow of the Blade, A Touch of Home, Forgotten Heroes, When I Have Your Wounded, Operation Whitecoat, and Texas Welcomes Them Home, The Making of the Texas Capitol, Vietnam Veterans Monument. So it covers some stuff during the war, after the war, and I think it's one of those like forgotten wars that doesn't get a lot of respect just because the country was so against it. But regardless of what the country thought, these guys had to go over there and fight, and a lot of them gave up their lives, and they didn't really have a choice, especially if you were drafted. So you know, it's an important time in history. It's important to look back on and recognize the sacrifices there, really, for what was probably a kind of iffy cause. Really wasn't a great cause, but you know, these guys did their jobs, and a lot of them lost their lives, and you know, they need to be remembered just as vividly as World War II and World War I and Korea and, you know, all those other wars. So really cool documentary set there. Now one more from Paramount. This is Paramount Presents Airplane. So this is a new 4K transfer of Airplane. It has the fold out slipcover, all that good stuff. It's the 40th anniversary, so it was remastered from a 4K film transfer that was supervised by the directors. I'm going to do a quick review on this and compare it to the previous Blu-ray release, let you guys know if it's worth upgrading. I do still think this would have been a great 4K Blu-ray release, especially for the 40th anniversary. It's obviously a very funny movie. I watched it recently and still made me laugh, and it has great people: Lloyd Bridges, Peter Graves, Leslie Nielsen, Robert Stack, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I mean, just loaded with stars, and people that became hugely successful after this movie. So an important movie, but I'll be checking that out and doing a full video on that one after this. And then one that's kind of funny is I've been working from home since March 17th, I believe, so we're going on almost 5 months now, and haven't been able to get in the office, but I went in just before I left for vacation to drop my laptop off for some work, and I forgot that I had a package there. My boss had texted me and said, hey, you got a package here, literally a week after we all worked from home, and I haven't been able to get in to grab it since then. So it's been sitting there since March, and I finally grabbed it the other day, and it turns out it was Ip Man 4. So kind of cool, the conclusion to the Ip Man series, Donnie Yen's martial arts movies. If you don't know Donnie Yen, he was in Rogue One, but he's a big Chinese Asian superstar. And so this movie actually covers following the death of his wife, Ip Man travels to San Francisco to ease tensions between the local kung fu masters and his star student Bruce Lee while searching for a better future. People from Kill Bill and The Matrix worked on this. It's a really cool kung fu martial arts movie and the conclusion to that series, so I'm happy that was still sitting there for me. And then last up, the last two I'm going to talk about are actually from a new label called Cauldron Films. They are an offshoot of Diabolic DVD. If you don't know Diabolic DVD, it's a website that sells a lot of horror, cult, sort of, odd and macabre stuff that for mostly movies and TV related. But they've decided to do their own label. It's kind of an offshoot. It's the same people who own Diabolic DVD. I don't know if they're like totally separate entities or how it works, but they've decided to create this Cauldron Films label, which appears to me to be competing in the same space as like Arrow Video, Grindhouse, Vinegar Syndrome, Synapse, sort of in that world. But they're really focusing on taking indie horror, cult horror, and lesser known horror movies and giving them a proper Blu-ray release. So what we've got here, the first one I have is called Abracadabra. It is a movie actually from 2018, so these aren't all classic movies, but it's an Italian movie from 2018, and it's sort of about like magic tricks gone wrong. People keep getting murdered in these magic themed murders. It sounds like a crazy movie, but it's something that probably would not have ever had a Blu-ray release if it wasn't for Cauldron. And these guys over there at Diabolic DVD and Cauldron Films now really know what they're looking for. They know what's good stuff. And this is an Italian movie they found, which is a shout out back to like Dario Argento and Sergio Martino and sort of that 70s, 80s Italian slasher genre. So it's a cool throwback to those movies. Even stuff like Zombie and other things that were Italian movies. They made a ton of great horror movies back in the day. So it's a little kind of like an homage to those. So that's cool. So last one is American Rickshaw. Sergio Martino directed this, who I just mentioned was a huge inspiration for the people who did Abracadabra, was a big director back in the 70s, 80s in Italian kind of slasher movies. And it's from 1989, and it has this really nice slipcover, cool artwork. You can see it's like a slip case. The disc is inside. It's a brand new 2K scan from the original camera negatives. And again, another movie that probably would have never found its way to Blu-ray. I'm not even sure if this has a DVD release, and they've done not only a Blu-ray release but a brand new restoration from camera negatives, and this is the inaugural release. This was the #1 release from Cauldron Films. They went with American Rickshaw. It actually it's a really interesting story. It's kind of creepy, and it has an Olympic gold medalist, Mitch Gaylord, who is the sort of star in this. He's a Miami rickshaw runner. There's a murder of an evangelist's son. There's crazy stuff going on in this. So I've never seen this. I'm really looking forward to watching it, and I'm going to do a full video actually on both of these and review them and talk about that new label to give support to Cauldron Films, because I love when new physical media labels come out. So that's it for the update. Now for the channel news, there's not much to say other than I kind of thanked you all for the huge uptick in subscribers. We're going to pass 40,000 probably sometime a little bit after this video gets released, and we'll be well on our way to 50,000. So keep supporting, and let's get to that 50,000 mark. That was my goal for 2020, and 2020 has been a wash otherwise. So hopefully we can achieve one goal in this kind of terrible year we're going through. But I just want to again say thank you to everyone. Make sure you're subscribed if you haven't already. I would really appreciate that. That helps the numbers, and it helps more people see the videos. And just make sure you leave comments on them, like the videos, share them anywhere you'd like. I don't care where you share them. Post them on websites, share them on social media, put them wherever you want to spread the word. But I do have some, like I said, review videos coming. Some more 4K stuff is on the way. The Hitchcock collection, other cool 4K titles like Back to the Future was just announced. And so there'll be plenty of content coming now that I'm back from vacation. And I also have some really interesting physical media news to share that I'll share in an update coming up. So stay tuned for all that. Make sure your notifications are on so you know when I get back from vacation and post a video like this. But other than that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. I'll be back with more videos very soon, more consistent now that I'm back. And I'll be talking to you guys soon. So thanks for watching. Have a great day.